This is the equivalent of 3 dozen eggs, freeze-dried. We sell this in the store. Three dozen eggs fits in a 32-ounce jar. Three dozen eggs, freeze-dried, fits in 32-ounce jars. We sell this at our store. This is what it looks like coming out of the freeze dryer. And I'm actually crumbling it up into flakes. These are fertilized eggs after they've been freeze-dried. So I crumble them up. Add them to a 32-ounce jar. Add a measuring scoop, oxygen absorber, and it's ready to be stored long term. Pantry long term, when things get tough, when egg prices go up through the roof, like they are now, or just to have a reserve. The best way to preserve them, in my opinion. I don't like pickling eggs or doing anything else. But this, you can add water to reconstitute and actually scramble it back into scrambled eggs. It maintains the structural integrity and the nutrients because it hasn't had any heat to it. 3 dozen eggs. Oxygen absorber. Freeze-dried eggs. There you go. 3 dozen eggs, freeze-dried. That's a lot of eggs. And I'm not finished. I've got 3 more trays. This could last you a long time. .32-ounce jar. If you left this sealed, this could last up to 25 years in the right conditions, but hopefully you're eating it. You can take a scoop out, reconstitute with a little water, and eat it. We're going to get the last of the egg that was in this tray. This is the best way to do it, is to crush it manually, like this. It takes me longer if I try to use the spoon to crush it. I just use gloves. Add it like such. Any excess. Try not to waste too much if I can get as much as possible. This is all grown on the farm here locally on our homestead. I'll get the other tray. This process took about 2 days, and the total batch, I think, was 194 eggs, all scrambled, obviously cracked in the shell, scrambled in the blender, and then I filled up 8 trays in the freeze dryer. You can see the consistency, like wafer. I take it and I literally just crush it like this. It's very flaky. Look at that. Very flaky. If I wanted to, I could actually split the egg yolk from the white if I wanted to, but I like scrambled eggs, so yeah, that's a lot of eggs. I see you, Christy. Hey. Thanks for joining. But yeah, look at that. That's just 1 tray. I actually made 2 others, but I sent them out. And so I'm now jarring the remaining. I have 5 orders to fulfill. And then rest I will box up and save for the next order. We do sell this in our Wasabi store. And currently, we're selling it for folks who have canines and want to supplement their food. This is a great way to do that. Now, people actually ask us, do we eat the freeze-dried that we make for ourselves? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is human grade, human quality. Everything I do at the store, I'm doing it tenfold for our family. Let's turn down this television. So I do this with my food, meals that we make. I do this a lot with stir fry, with chicken and rice and veggies that are cut up pretty small, like really diced, because it's easy to spread on these very shallow trays. And then I pack them in Mylar bags. That's the easiest way to do it. For the store, we use the same technique against eggs, a lot of vegetables like sweet potatoes. I've done freeze-dried sweet potatoes. And then I also do it for the meat. So let me show you what the meat looks like. This is the equivalent, or what started as 1 pound of meat. Now, if you can see it, after freeze-drying it, I don't know if you can see that. It's about 3 ounces. You may not be able to see that. So freeze-drying takes out 99.9% of the water content without destroying the structural integrity of the cellular structure of the meat. And so it maintains a very nutrient-dense product when you're finished. Plus it's lightweight because it doesn't have all the water. This beef is cut into 4 patties, which are originally the equivalent of a quarter pounder, and I pack it into this special package, vacuum seal it, and then offer it in our store. Do the same with our other meats, chicken, fish. I've done a lot with salmon. I've also done with rabbit. This is salmon. Freeze-dried salmon. You can see the skin. See the skin? And then this is rabbit, cut rabbit. So we've culled the rabbit, frozen it, cut it, freeze-dried it, vacuum sealed. This will last, at least for us, forever. It won't be forever because we will feed it to our canines, but if we wanted to eat it ourselves, we could. Obviously, it is raw, so we can reconstitute water and then cook it like anything else. It maintains, again, the structural integrity. There's no heat. It uses sublimation, which actually freezes it, I think, to below 13 degrees Celsius, or Celsius, and then vacuum seals it. At that point, it goes from a solid to a vapor very quickly, or instantaneously. And the vacuum pulls that moisture out of the air of the freeze dryer, and so it instantly is removed from the meat. And so what is left, again, is the cellular walls less the water. So this is rabbit, this is salmon. And this was originally 5 pounds of rabbit, which is now less than a pound. And this was a pound of salmon, which feels like featherweight. And this is a beef blend of our own, beef and bone. So you can see the bone inside, some flakes of the bone. But all these are going to be offered in our store, and other blends as well. This was the fertilized eggs. These are fertilized eggs from our farm that I've scrambled. I started out with about 194 eggs, scrambled all of them, and loaded them into the freeze dryer. And now I'm taking each tray. The result looks like this. And then this is what it looks like after I crush it. It's like flakes. So now I'm adding it to this jar. This is a 32-ounce jar. It's a mason jar. So we can reuse this after we finish the contents of each. We sell this in the store, and so folks have a mason jar. Not only do they have 32 ounces of freeze-dried eggs, which is the equivalent of 3 dozen eggs, after they finish it, they have a mason jar to reuse. So nothing to waste, nothing disposable. All stuff that you can use and reuse. And that's how we should all be thinking these days, especially now. Especially now. Okay, I'm just seeing the salmon out of the stock. It is on the website, Christy, if you're still there. I'm going to be updating. That's why I'm coming live, because I'm reinvigorating this YouTube channel now, because we are going to be opening up our store pretty soon, updating the inventory, and I want to show you our meat. I'll show you what it looks like frozen. This is our beef and bone blend, ready for the freeze dryer. I've cut it into these quarter-pound slices. And once it goes through the process, then it will look like this. So this is the beef. You can see the bone. All of this is going to be on our website, updated. This is our own special blend now. We're going to offer it frozen, so you can buy this frozen in 5-pound tubes, or you can buy it already freeze-dried into these packets. You just pick your choice. We have folks that buy both ways. It's just a matter of what's your comfort level. But either one works. When we grind the meat ourselves, this is what it ends up looking like. That's 100% beef and bone. So we grind it. We can feed it directly to our animals like this. We can feed the frozen patties, or we can freeze dry it. Everything you see here is going to be offered in our store online. From the salmon, the rabbit, the beef and bone. We have some other blends. We have fish that's coming, not the salmon, but herring that will be offered as well. Look how much meat that is. This is, if I put it on the scale, that's 4.5 pounds of meat. So you can tell I've been scooping some out. This was originally 5 pounds. I'm going to change my gloves since I've been touching all this other meat. This one is done. Not quite. I'm gonna add a little bit more. So I'll just crush it manually, like this. See how much more I can add. I don't think I can add much more to this. I think it's done. Yeah, it's full. That's about it. Full to the brim. I'm going to add the measuring cup. So you can literally scoop out reconstitute that with water and scramble it up. I add an oxygen absorber. That way, oops, got a little bit here, so let me add a little bit more. Yeah, the oxygen absorber will ensure that it stays fresh. That's the equivalent of 3 dozen eggs, freeze-dried. This is what it looks like after I put our labels on it. Wasabis, freeze-dried, fertilized eggs. And there you go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back another time. Thank you.